Can't go on. A sitting president, meanwhile, taking the stand against his own Justice Department. That was the potential scenario revealed in a newly uncovered letter by Politico, detailing these negotiations behind Hunter Biden's now-dead plea deal. Andy McCarthy, former assistant U.S. attorney and Fox News contributor. Andy, good morning to you. Betsy Swan had the scoop over the weekend in Politico. If you printed out that article, you're 15 pages deep. And you can't just crank out a story like that overnight. This had to take some time. What do you read into it? What was going on? What was the result?
Well, I hope what they take from it on Capitol Hill, Bill, is the way that this kind of intertwines with the scheme that they're looking at. You know, it's all very interesting about what happened with Hunter Biden, why they didn't prosecute him, what they'll do now that the deal collapsed. That stuff is all interesting. But, you know, in the big scheme, the Biden family influence peddling business, people are hand-wringing about where's the quid pro quo? Was he in business? Did they discuss business? And in the meantime, in the Hunter Biden case, here you have Exhibit A of how the scheme worked. You have these big, bad Justice Department prosecutors who aren't supposed to be afraid of anything. They got this guy dead to rights on a 10-year gun felony and tax evasion charges, and they're afraid to charge him. They won't charge him. The case is disappearing. The statute of limitations is running, but they're scared to death to charge him because they don't want to charge Joe Biden's son. They're afraid to do it. They're being told it would be career suicide to pull the trigger on a case like that. This is exactly what access to Joe Biden is. This is why people were willing to pay millions of dollars to get it. That's what the scheme was.
In our most recent poll for Fox News is coupler number 2. When it comes to his foreign business dealings, Hunter Biden did something illegal. Well, in February, that number was 37%. In April, it was 44%. Today, it is 50%. And I have to imagine that the collapse of the plea deal was maybe something. But what about this idea that Hunter Biden's lawyers floated maybe the threat or the idea that they would call the president of the United States to the stand? How do you think that went over with the president's lawyers?
Well, I think we know how it went over, Dana, because he was never charged. I mean, I know I'm like a broken record on this now, but every week we talk about this, and every week I say, another week has gone by and there's no indictment. And the charges are disappearing. You know, 2016's gone, 2015's gone, 2014's gone. Really, most crimes prior to 2018 are gone because they never indicted. All the tax charges prior to 2017 are gone. And this scheme only runs till about 2019 because they had to rein their sails in once Biden's 2020 presidential campaign got into full swing. So the case is disappearing day by day. But what we see in the stories that were reported over the weekend is they're intimidated by Joe Biden. They're afraid to charge a case they would charge in any other instance because of what the blowback is going to be against them career-wise, professional-wise, et cetera, if they mess with Joe Biden's son. And again, this is what these foreign actors were paying for.
Yeah. Shaking my head, Andy. That's what I'm doing. I'm SMH over here today.
I know.
By the way, do you think David Weiss testifies in October or September? Or is that just not even going to happen at all now?
Yeah, I think he'll say now that he's a special counsel.
He can.
You know, now it's very different. You know, it's an ongoing investigation.
I know. Nice to
it's
see
an ongoing investigation into charges that no longer exist because the statute is run.
For infinity. Right. Thank you, Andy. Nice to see you. Andy McCarthy. There he is.
Morty, happy week.
All right,
thank you.
Thanks.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.